The Von Heyer residence. I love this house. This is the place where we spent night after night. I was a young man then, a student surrounded by other young men, including my best friend Servaas. He was so special. But more about him later. We used to spend the night here, time and again. Master Von Heyer built the house, and after he died, his widow Bertha made sure his name was never forgotten. She slaved away day and night, food and clothes for the poor, and she surrounded herself with young men. Of a certain intellect, mind you. We were here to have discussions, nothing else. Well, sometimes things could get a bit bawdy. But then again, there were more than 200 breweries in Gouda at the time. You can't blame a healthy young man for wanting to try them all, can you? Elisabeth? No, I don't want to talk about her. I don't. People assume I was in love with her. Why wouldn't they? She was beautiful, the fair daughter of Bertha von Heyer. Such a devout girl, and so headstrong. She was determined to devote her life to God. Every night she talks about becoming a nun. Of course, we'd roar and we'd protest. We'd tell her off and try to convince her she'd wither away at the convent. Enough about her. What's that you say? Yes, I did. I did write an essay, dedicated to her. I did write page after page, trying to convince her not to become a nun. But not because I wanted her for myself. That's such a simple notion. I was a young novice at the convent of Stein myself. I knew what kind of sacrifices came with dedicating your life to the Lord. I knew how lonely it could be. I knew. My friend Servaas knew. We both... Enough about that. Suffice to say, I wanted that beautiful, vibrant young girl spared from a life of sacrifice. Elisabeth would never find love in the convent. Who would? And... No, enough of that. Forget about Elisabeth. Forget about me. Why don't you focus your attention to the Tolhuis behind you? The dark lock was situated here. The dark lock was the longest lift lock in the world. And of course the Earls of Holland made sure everyone paid their toll. If you wanted to go south, you had to go through this lock. And by law you were obliged to spend one night before the lock. So every house here was an inn. Drunken sailors galore, except for the beautiful Von Heyer residence. Well, it sometimes sounded like an inn when we were around.